Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Rabbi.
We're learning Mishnah Yoma, Parak Aleph, Chapter 1, Mishnah Daled, Mishnah 4. Kol Shavas Hayomim, all 7 days that the Kohen Gadol was separated from his house before Yom Kippur, Mimenu Ma'achol Mishnah. They didn't hold back any food or drink from him. The whole week, he could eat whatever he wants. He could eat and drink whatever he wants, whatever amount. Erev Yom Kippur Chashecha, but on Erev Yom Kippur, on the day before Yom Kippur, as it's getting dark, meaning towards the very end of the day, they didn't allow him to eat too much, or didn't allow him to eat a lot, because food can bring on sleep. Now, the whole thing is like this. The Kohen Gadol would be up the entire night of Yom Kippur. He did not go to sleep Yom Kippur night. And that was to prevent any kind of seminal discharge from him. Because if that is what happens to the Kohen or to any person, they become tummy, they become impure. Now, what do they do to become pure? It doesn't take a lot. You go to the mikveh that day, and by the end of the day, you're tar. You're tar. So we have to make sure that the Kohen Gadol should be able to have his chance, if that were to happen, to make himself pure. So the week before, we don't have to make him refrain from doing anything. Because if anything happens, I'll go to the mikveh, and the next by night, he'll be okay. Yeah. Now, we mentioned before that during this period, whole period of time, it's the Kohen Gadol who sprinkles the blood, he brings the ktaras, he does all the services, in order to get him used to in order to make him proficient for the day of Yom Kippur when he has to do it. And on that, if he comes out that he became impure, so that day he can't do it. Who's going to do it? Somebody else will do it, right? The whole point of him doing it during this period of time is not because he has to do it, it's because we want to get him used to doing it. If he can't do it, somebody else will do it. All right? So therefore, the week before, no restrictions. Once we get ready to Erev Yom Kippur, the day before Yom Kippur, and we're talking about towards the end of the day, where we're concerned that, now when we get towards the end of the day, we're concerned that if he eats too much towards the end of the day, he's going to get sleepy by night. And if he gets sleepy by night, we can have problems. So therefore, towards the end of the day, on Yom Kippur, we don't let him eat too much so that he doesn't get too sleepy and fall asleep and something were to happen. If something were to happen the night of Yom Kippur, he'd be in trouble because he can only go to the mikveh the next day, and he still won't be able to do any of the service that he has to do that day. So therefore, he's up the whole night, no eating too much, and not too much eating towards the end of Yom Kippur, so not to get too sleepy and fall asleep, and problems happen. Another thing we don't let him do, says the Bartanura, is that there are certain foods that bring on this kind of discharge. Certain foods, whether it's nothing to do with how much you eat of them. These are foods that warm up the body. They can bring a discharge, and therefore we don't let them eat them. We don't let him at the end of Erev Yom Kippur. We don't allow him to eat it at all. What are those things? He may not have any milk, eggs, fatty meat, old wine, and anything else that we say warms up the body. And therefore, these kinds of things we say that he can't. So again, towards the end of Yom Kippur, we don't let him eat a lot of anything. And towards the end of Yom Kippur, there's certain things we don't let him partake of at all. And those are these things that warm up the body. All this is in order to prevent any kind of discharge that will make him tamei and make him unable to perform the service on Yom Kippur. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi.